Hey everybody, it's Tamika and I am back with another design team project for Lizzie Jose. All of the information on where you can find her items will be in the description box, as well as her Facebook page and group. So I'm so excited to share with you guys my very first altered clock. It's one of those Tim Holtz clocks. I got this at Joann's when it was 40% off, so I got it for about $5, $5.99 max. So I was so excited. I had seen so many of you wonderful, awesome, talented ladies alter these clocks, and I was pretty much intimidated by it, but I figured I will dive in. So here are a couple of pictures of the clock, since I'm videoing at an odd angle far back. So here's a couple pictures close up. So I'm so excited. It turned out so cute. I do love it. This is a picture of my fiance and his mom. So they look so cute together in that hug. And I know the lighting is dim where I am, but it's not that much of a shadow. It's not that dark in there. You can see it pretty good when you look at it in person. So I do have a process video that I did, since I, with the momentum of me doing my first altar clock, I was like, I might as well record it. What the heck? So that's what I did. And I'll try to do a voiceover. Otherwise, I'll just add annotations to it as you're watching it if the voiceover doesn't work. So the products that I used from Lizzie's store is the gardenia flowers here. I use those, some of the flat back black pearls. I love the gardenia flowers. I use some of these little porcelain flowers from her store, and I think a couple of other base flowers on the inside, but you'll see that later. So I'll put the link in the description box, as I said, and that's it. So I'm guessing that my voiceover will do the rest, but here's a quick note. That's not going to work. So let me try. I can't zoom on the camera. So, you know what? I don't know what to say. So hopefully you guys will try to do this on your own and check out Lizzie Jose's shop for some other items. And stay tuned for the process video. And like if you like it, leave a comment, let me know what you think. I love you guys for leaving such awesome comments. It makes me smile every time, and I try to get back to you maybe 1 week later, maybe 2 weeks later, but I will try to get back to you as soon as I can, because they cut off YouTube at work. How dare they? So I can only do it when I get home, and then sometimes it's just so hectic that I forget. So no harm intended, but I love you guys for leaving such awesome comments and liking the videos. So thanks for showing your support. Stay tuned for the process video. Have a good day. Bye. Okay, I'm using the Tim Holtz Ideology Assemblage clock for this project, and the Prima romance novel paper collection in the 6x6 paper pad. Everybody's faves. Here's the clock. I spray painted the entire clock inside and out with black acrylic spray paint, and I took the glass from the clock because I was not going to use it. So I decided to use 2 different pieces of paper from the romance novel, and here I just I don't have a die cut to cut the picture to size, so I used my Cricut to cut a 4 3/4 inch circle out in lightweight chipboard so that I can trace the paper around it to fit the background of the clock. So I just fussy cut that circle out with my precision scissors. And then to clean up those edges, I used some sandpaper that I got from the dollar store, and then I went around the edges in some Studio G ink. And I'm using my Beacon Eileen's 3-in-1 craft glue to adhere the circle to the back of the clock. And that's pretty sturdy, stays pretty well. I love that liquid glue. So I'm using the second circle that I cut, and this one's cut at 4 1/4. 4.5. So I put that on the back of the picture, right center where I wanted the photo to be, and then I drew a line, traced it, and fussy cut. Did the same thing off camera with the sandpaper around the edges and the ink. And then I took some of the Lizzie Jose's flatback pearl trim in black, and I just used my hot glue gun to adhere it around the edges of the circle. And I wanted the picture to be up from the back, not so far back, so I added some pop dots, some dimensionals to the back of my photo. And just to secure it, I always add a dot of hot glue to all of my backs just to make sure that it stays. And I just pop that up on the back to add a little dimension. I decided to line the inside of the clock with some black lace from my stash. So that's what I am doing here. And I just adhered it around the total circumference of the clock. So now I'm taking some various washi tape, and I'm adhering it to the outside of the clock. And I started to use my glue because I was not sure if the washi tape would stick, but after a while it was cumbersome. So I realized that the washi tape would stick, and any pieces that weren't, I just added a tiny bit of hot glue that I touched with my hand or something. But otherwise, the washi tape sticked perfectly to the spray painted clock, so I didn't have a problem. And I just continued to go around the clock with 3 or 4 various washi tapes. So I have some gesso here. I just have it on a plate, and I'm just going around over the entire clock, over that washi tape with the gesso, because I like the background of the tapes coming through, so it looks pretty awesome. So I did 2 coats, very light coats around the clock, and now I'm drying it just to make sure it's all dry. So I did the first coat already, and then now you're going to see the second coat, very light. And then I pounced the second coat on there just to add some texture to the clock, and it came out very cute. I really like how it turned out. And then I also added some snow text from Deco Art. I just dug my finger in the jar and pounced it around on top of that gesso. And then I let that dried it with my heat tool. Now I'm using some black bling trim from my stash to go around the perimeter of the clock. All the way around. I thought it added extra flair. So I decided to use some Recollections bling, and I'm just cutting everything but the crochet flower, and I'm going to adhere that around the clock on both sides just to add something to both sides of that clock. It looked a little bare over there. And I'm taking some of my flowers from my stash. I believe I got these from Trico Flowers, and I'm using Lindy Stamp Gang. Well, I'm using Dylusions ink spray in white linen, and then I'm also using Lindy Stamp Gang in Don't Eat Golden Snow. I added the white because the Trico flowers have a beige tint to it, so I added white so that they can, pop out a little bit. And then I added the Don't Eat Golden Snow on top of that. And to get the edges a little bit more crispier, I added some of that leftover gesso to the tops of the flowers to make them not look so dull. And then I'm using spray starch because I added so much wet liquid to the flowers. I'm adding spray starch before I dry it, and that helps to keep the flowers very sturdy. So once you dry that up, they are hard as a rock. I'm taking the leaves off the back because I don't want to use them. And I'm using some flowers from Lizzie Jose, these white flat hydrangea flowers, I believe they're called, or white flat flowers. I'm using as a base, and I used Dylusions ink in black marble just to add some black to edges to the flower, to add some dimension to that. And I'm doing the same thing to this flower. Cut off the stem, cut and take off the leaf, and then dip the edges of the flower into the black spray. And I did that for 3 different flowers. And then I have some chain here that I got from Joann's, just some silver chain, and I gessoed it to loosen or lessen some of the silver. I gessoed it, and I end up spraying some of the Dylusions black marble ink on top of it as well. I'm using a black gardenia flower from Lizzie's Zibbet shop, and I added my own homemade shimmer mist to this flower. I'm not sure if I edited that or not, but I added it to this flower to give it an extra pop. So here I'm just layering it in the inside to see how it looks. It's a crochet flower in a cream color, and I added some hot glue on there, folded it in half to put inside of the clock. And then here is where I was saying that I added some of my homemade shimmer mist to this gardenia flower. Make it pop up a little bit. Make it shiny and sparkly. I did the same thing for the other 2 flowers that I created. This is a butterfly from Butterbee Scraps. Here on YouTube, I gessoed it. It was a gold or copper color. Just added some white gesso to that, and then dried the butterfly. I did 2 coats of that. And then I'm using some more of the pearls from Lizzie's store to add as a body for the butterfly. And then I have some letters that I got from K & Company. It's a chip box. It's actually from one of her other Life's Journey collections. And I just spelled out the word love. And I added 3 coats of gesso. And then I also added South Shore Sand in the Lindy Stab Gang spray. And Don't Eat Golden Snow. Also to that, to add a little tan color to the words love. And I end up pouncing the gesso on the letters as well to get it some more dimension as I was drying, as you can see here. I went over the edges with that Studio G ink in black. Went over all of those edges so that the center of the flower is kind of tan, to make that pop, have like a border. So I like that effect. And here I'm just messing around with the word love. I have it on one of the spoons that I got when I was in Chicago. And I added that to the bottom. Later on I'll change it and add some lace to that. But here you can see I colored the chain already. And I'm just trying to figure out a way to place it so that it'll be looping around the top left corner. So I end up looping it around the bell and then bringing the 2 ends around to the left side so that they can cross and loop. I cut some cardstock out in using my Sizzix wings die. I used the larger 2 wings, etched the edges in the color block ink, and then stickled them. I also sprayed them with some shimmer mist and dried them before I added them to the back of the clock using hot glue. One of my favorite adhesives. Here you can see I took the letters off of that spoon and added some lace. I got this lace from Michaels. So I just reapplied. It was easy to take off. I just reapplied the letters and with the hot glue, and after I did the lace, and put everything back how I had it. It's really cute. I found this charm or this bling in my stash. I don't know where it came from. It was in a little Ziploc bag. So I decided to pop that up on some dots and put that in the center of the spoon. I made a little spray using some pearls from my stash and some porcelain flowers from Lizzie's Zibbet store. And I just twisted those around there and added them to the side with some hot glue. And then I used another gardenia flower that I misted with my homemade shimmer from the Zibbet store. And then another one of those flowers that I altered earlier in the video. Just layered that on the side. And I'm just getting off the glue strands that I've accumulated on the clocks. I use my heat tool for that. Also, I have this cute little bow that you can get in Lizzie's shop. It's a black with white polka dots. I just added that to the edge of the flower, and then I went over the letters with some Ranger stickles, silver stickles, so that love can have a little pizzazz. And all I did was have that chipboard from the beginning that I used to cut out the circle. I put it on the back to complete the finished look. Thanks guys for watching. Bye.